There's more than one way to skin a cat.
We trick them,
Critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
And some Ohio lawmakers want to ban what is known as critical race theory from being taught in K through 12 schools.
Ohio parents are worried about what their children are being taught, and they are right to be worried. An in-depth accuracy in media investigation revealed public school administrators who are determined to advance the principles of critical race theory even if it becomes illegal. And some of the worst things we captured were right in the capital city, Columbus.
All I can think of when I think of that House bill is my Southern parents always raising us on these little funky phrases that I never understood. And one of them was, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So whether you can pass a bill that you can't teach CRT in a classroom, but if you didn't cover programming, or you didn't cover extracurricular activities or something like that, that message might still get out. Oops.
Right. Oh gosh, I love that.
Oops.
Yeah.
There will be a way. We kept getting these emails, do you have critical race theory in your curriculum, which was what the talking point was from a certain news channel. So we got to the point where first we're going to ask you, what do you mean by critical race
Do
theory?
you think we're teaching higher education, grad school stuff to your second grader?
And then the second thing is, no, we don't have that in our curriculum. You didn't ask about the conversations in the hallway. You didn't ask about, which we don't have those anyway. But the point is, we're going to answer your question. Nowhere in our curriculum does critical race theory exist. And it went away.
End of story.
We don't have
Well, I
to,
kind of want to know that y'all are having some conversation around.
like the tenets of it, like diversity, equity, inclusion, social justice.
Those conversations are happening. Absolutely.
Right on.
But and when people ask us a question, we answer their question. But yes, we absolutely have those conversations going on. Is there a parent saying that privilege is a controversial topic? Probably, but don't get me wrong, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that will probably get discussed in 17 classrooms before somebody actually brings it in here, and then we'll deal with it.
These radicals are being paid by your tax dollars to deceive you. These public school administrators are devoted to promoting social justice in classrooms. They are devoted to teaching your children that America is systemically racist, that capitalism is inherently racist. And when parents speak out against these things, they're often accused of being dramatic or engaging in a slippery slope fallacy. But this equity officer made it incredibly clear that the fears of these parents are completely justified.
They're not going to be supportive if I lay out everything we're going to do. But if I talk to them about doing this one thing in the name of supporting students, they probably won't have an issue with this one thing. And by the time we get that thing established, if I start talking to them about this one other thing, they don't realize that was two things. They just realize that we're moving from where we are to where we're going. But we're not going here because that would be liberal. That'd be a little crazy.
Right.
But we can go.
And then in 5 years.
Yeah,
Because
5 years
it's
you look back and
completely-
like, what the hell happened?
Another Columbus administrative staffer was a little more direct in explaining how they handle concerned parents.
We have some parents that, they don't fully understand. So, it's when we trick them,
What do you mean?
But, similar situation. So if we have a certain content that we want to share with students, and they see one word in the language, it's like, oh no, we can't do that. Well, let's look at it from a different, viewpoint, and then it's
Change
they're
the words,
okay,
At the end of the day, we can close the door and teach what's right. And I would presume and hope, I don't know, that an attitude would be similar here if stupid laws got passed, I don't know.
It's hard to predict, it's hard to predict that, but we would find parameters for which we could, absolutely.
That's right. Ohio hasn't banned the principles of critical race theory from being taught in public schools. But as plenty of administrators told us, they would happily circumvent any such law. One common tactic is to use social and emotional learning. SEL is often a Trojan horse for critical race theory. And as one administrator told us, they're even using COVID bailout money to pay for it. They're taking funds that were dedicated to reopening schools safely during a pandemic and instead spending it on indoctrination.
Are you guys able to do social and emotional learning here, or do the parents?
We do focus a lot of, so with the federal funds that got awarded for, we call them ESSER funds, but federal funds that got awarded for the pandemic, we put a social worker and a guidance counselor in every single building.
Cool.
And we incorporated a lot of materials that were focused on the social emotional well-being, self-regulating,
Yes.
different levels and things like that.
And I feel like that's a good way to get diversity, equity, inclusion into classes it might not normally be in.
Yes.
Another Trojan horse for critical race theory principles is a classroom news service called Newsela. We've found Newsela in countless districts throughout the country, and as we've mentioned previously, they're partners with the far-left Southern Poverty Law Center, revisionist historian Howard Zinn, and the debunked New York Times 1619 Project.
So we use Newsela in a couple of different capacities. So we use it for not only some of our core content, so our social studies uses it, but
Nice.
we use it as a supplement for language arts also.
In Ohio, just like we saw with our investigations in Iowa, Idaho, and Tennessee, parents are playing an endless game of whack-a-mole with public education. If you ban critical race theory principles, they call it something else. If you ban the 1619 Project, they bring in the same content under the guise of Newsela. Parents want to believe in public education. They want to trust their child's educators. But I'm sorry to say, public education has broken that trust. The only solution to this is Arizona-style school choice, where public education dollars follow the child. In the words of Corey DeAngelis, we should fund students, not systems. Please, take action. Click on the link below this video to send a message demanding school choice right now. Then share this video with any parents that you might know. And if you'd like to make sure this video reaches the most parents possible, click on the link below to make a tax-deductible contribution. Our work is only made possible through your support. I'm Adam Gillette with Accuracy in Media, and stay tuned because this is just the first part of our Ohio investigation.